Bon dia e benvindos, my hungry amigos. Welcome back to Algarve Appetite with me, Portuguese Jimmy. Regular viewers of the channel may have seen a video we uploaded a couple of weeks ago featuring Nana Sadie, my mother-in-law. And it was a little skit about how she was missing her Scottish breakfast, and in particular Lorne sausage, or square sausage as they say in Scotland, potato scone or tatty scone, and a good Scottish roll with some brown sauce. So today, as promised, and show you how to make Lorne sausage. In a separate video, we'll do rolls and then also the tatty scones. Now, this is a really straightforward, simple recipe. If I've got any British or Scottish people out there that are longing for the taste of home, this recipe is super easy to do and tastes absolutely delicious. So, without further ado, let's get going. So first of all, I prepared my ingredients here. And I should also say, like many of the things I cook, I'm actually cooking more than I need so we can freeze it. Now this works really well with the Lorne sausage. You just cut it up, put it in the freezer, and then take it out as and when you need it. So the recipe calls for 500 grams of beef mince and 500 grams of pork mince. Now, I have here actually a kilo of each, so I've doubled the recipe, and I'll do that throughout. But I'll link the recipe below with the correct ingredients, obviously, or the correct measurement. So the good thing is over here, Aldi sell a mix of pork and beef, and it's pretty reasonable. I think I paid €8 for this. I'll need to check. So here's our meat. We then have breadcrumbs. Now these are actually homemade with my homemade bread. I keep the heels, and then once a month or so I put them in the freezer. Then once a month, grind them up, make breadcrumbs out of them. So we have our breadcrumbs here. And in the recipe is 180 grams. Next, a mix of various different spices, a teaspoon of coriander, a teaspoon of nutmeg, 3 teaspoons of salt. I put in a teaspoon of white pepper. And finally, we have an egg. This recipe has 2 steps to it. First of all, we're going to mix it up in this mixing bowl, put it in the fridge overnight, and then cut it up tomorrow. So basically, let's get started. I'll take my watch off. And it's just a case of putting our ingredients in here. We'll do it a bit by bit so we can kind of work it in. Start off with 1 egg here. I have to say this isn't the nicest job, but you just get in there with your hands. And even though when we first started, you may have thought there was a lot of breadcrumbs in there, you can see now, as I'm working through this, we're really getting that incorporated nicely. Again, always remember to turn it from the bottom, because that's where you'll find the last of those breadcrumbs sitting. Oh, it's a bit of a workout, this. I say, beats going to the gym. Okay, and I'm going to call that as done. Took me less than 5 minutes, I would say. So let me quickly get my hands washed. So the next step here, we're going to use these cake tins, I guess they are. We got these from IKEA. I'm sure they're readily available anywhere. And doesn't need to be specifically like this, but this is really the shape that we want our finished sausage to be. If it's a little higher, that's fine. But yeah, it's square sausage, so logic states that we should have a square tin. So the first step, we're not going to cook our sausage in here. It's only to form a structure so that it can set or firm up overnight. So the first thing we're going to need is the bane of my life, cling film. And hopefully, within the space of the next 24 hours, I can actually find the end of this and manage to tear off a bit without ripping it. At long last. Okay, so we want to basically cover this, and this is basically so we can easily pop out our sausage tomorrow when it has all set. So just really fix that in there. I'm not going to cut the cling film at the moment, just in case. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff the sausage meat in here and then bring the cling film back over the top. So as I say, I'll have enough to do about 1.5 because I've doubled the recipe here. So you'll get, for each tray, you'll get, I would say, 10 to 15 pieces of sausage. So let's get started. And you'll be surprised, this doesn't go very far. So this is 2 kilos of mince we started off with, and push it right down so you get it right into the bottom. And don't be scared to be quite aggressive because our cling film is there, so we shouldn't have any problems popping this out when it's set overnight. So what I do is to start with a thin layer, like so, then get my fingers in to make sure we've got it right into all the corners. Okay, then along the sides, then just pop it down in the middle, like so, and then put the next layer on. So I'm going to flip this back over, like so, and because the cutting edge on cling film never works, I'm going to grab my trusty knife and try and do a nice clean cut so I won't have the same problem when I move on to my next tray. So when you've got your cling film like this, just tuck the edges in. Again, it's going in the fridge, so it's not super duper important that everything's there. So we'll take this, we'll put it in the fridge overnight, ideally for about 24 hours, but overnight should be fine. That way, when we cut it, the whole thing doesn't break apart. So we'll do that tomorrow. And I'm just going to do the second tray very quickly here. Obviously, it's exactly the same process. Just fold it over like so. So guys, and welcome back. By the magic of television and some editing, it's the next day and we're ready to cut up our Lorne sausage. But before we start, I've got some really exciting news for you. Since we last spoke, we have had a delivery of Algarve Appetite baseball caps. So guys, if you would like one of these, if you see us out and about, myself and Liam, come up, say hello. If you don't mind being on camera, we'll do a quick shout out to you and give you a baseball cap. And we've got some more goodies on the way. So if you ever see us out and about in the Algarve area, from east to west, come up, introduce yourself, have a quick chat, and we'll give you some free stuff. Anyway, now let's move on to the recipe. Basically, we have our 1.5 trays of Lorne sausage for my double recipe. So let's start off with a big one. First of all, we remove the cling film here. It's as simple as turning this out and it should just pop off. There we go. Take the cling film off, and now all we've got to do, it's best with a serrated knife, like a bread knife. I find it cuts better. So let's just start off here. And you don't want to go too thick either because A, it takes too long to cook and you're going to get less slices basically. So just nice, easy actions right the way through there. So yeah, I don't know if you can see this. I would say this is about about the right thickness for the sausage. And of course, you can do whatever you like. It's your kitchen, your rules. So, don't push down, because then I think it will you'll distort the sausage. So, just like sawing a piece of wood, back and forth actions. Let the knife do the work, and it should just glide through your sausage like so. So that's the first one done, and I'll just cut the second one, well, the half of one that we have here, just at the bottom. So again, that just falls straight out, and then this maybe isn't quite formed as nicely, but anyway, it'll be fine. Okay, so here we go. Same process, choppy chop, chop, chop. And that's just done. We've got a couple of small pieces at the end, which are good if you're not that hungry. But let's see how many slices we got. 2, 4, 6, 22, 24, 26, 27 slices. So if you just did the regular recipe, it would be about this much here. And again, depends on how you use it. Okay, so I've been multitasking a bit today. I've been recording another video with these delicious crispy white bread rolls, and that ties in just nicely with finishing up our Lorne sausage video. So I'm going to move these bad boys to one side for now and fire up my little portable griddle here, which is very useful for things like this. And let's get a piece of Lorne sausage on the griddle here and sample it with one of our rolls. Okay, so that's our Lorne sausage done. I'm going to put that to one side for a second. So let's have a look at one of our rolls here. Look at that beauty. Probably could have stayed in a little longer if you like it really dark. Just going to open it up. There we go, look at that. Let's get some butter on it. Still warm. Ooh. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be good. So we have our buttered roll here and our delicious homemade Lorne sausage, square sausage as they say in Scotland. Put that on there. And the final and important ingredient, rinse sauce. Now, there's a bit of a debate out there. Some of you may say that tomato ketchup should be used for things like bacon rolls and Lorne sausage. So, let me tell you, you're wrong. It's as simple as that. Brown sauce every day of the week. Anyone else that tells you any different is a crazy person. So, let's get some on there. Just a good spread over. Oh, I've been looking forward to this. Look at that bad boy. Crush all that down. Perfect. Here we go. It's time for the taste test. Man, it's so good. When we were in Scotland, we used to get Butcher's Lorne sausage delivered every second week. I'm telling you, Brian, I hope you're not watching this, but I think mine is better. Especially with a homemade roll like that. So, let me have another bite. I honestly cannot tell you how tasty that is. As I say, the roll's lovely and soft. It's got a bit of a crunch to it. The Lorne sausage is just perfect. The coriander and nutmeg with a little bit of pepper in there. Oh, next level. Next level. I'm so happy.
Thanks. But I like it.
Let's try one more. One more bite. And as they say in the famous film, get in my belly.
Can't stop on it.
At Algarve Appetites, we're all about creating delicious recipes, but also watching the pennies. So, how much did this recipe cost to make in total, and what's the average cost per serving? Let's look at the numbers. So here we have a breakdown of our costs. As you would expect, most of the cost is in regards to the mince. The rest of it is really negligible. The total is €9.04, making it about 65 cents per slice. Now, not the cheapest recipe we've ever made, but it's certainly delicious. I've not been in the UK for 3 years, so tell me in the comments, how does that compare with what you're paying in the supermarket or from your local butchers?
If you found this video entertaining, you need to look at the video with Nana Sadie eating Lorne sausage in a roll just like this with a potato scone. We'll link it down below and at the end. It's really funny, honestly. You'll laugh. So, without further ado, thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. I've been Portuguese Jimmy. This has been delicious, and this has been Algarve Appetite. See you next time.
Thank you for watching all the way to the end of this video. It's greatly appreciated. If you want to follow us on other social media, check out our link tree at Algarve Appetite, link in the description below. Also on screen is a video we think you'll love. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.